You see that he has a decent grasp of common, but once in a while he snarls in his speech. He still has the bestial kind of instinct in him. But so there are a couple of guards that come out from other buildings. They were, kicking kobolds and whatnot, and they look at the two young red dragons that have just been killed by you and the clerics, and pretty much not them because they didn't help at all. And Lek puts an arm around Ramas and kind of just ruffles the top of your head. It's like, good job.
Thanks.
And she comes out. She looks like she's patched herself up as well. So does Pip. She they all do offer additional healing if anybody needs it. And
Nope.
Acros, you look like you've probably bled out a couple pints of blood at this point. With a couple of so has Hwinnil. You're a little bloody, but you guys are okay.
I do.
Both in the beer, actually.
Yeah, that's true. So if you're bloody as a bear, would you be bloody as yourself?
I don't know. The wounds doesn't transfer, but I mean, like full of bear blood all over.
There's bear blood.
There's
Smells
blood,
like bear.
like bear blood all over you. Bear is kind of a fatty. I know bear is kind of a fatty meat, so maybe there's some grease in the blood too. It doesn't smell pleasant at all.
Of course it does. This is how I like to smell.
Well, to you it sounds fine. It smells fine. It's nature. You're
Yeah.
used to this. Everybody else is like, what? But but Lek comes out and she says, good job for everybody, to everybody. If you need a place to rest to recover your wounds, the orphanage we have a medical area at the orphanage set up. She says, am going to go through the city with Hunter. And, Hunter, Pip is going to go back to the orphanage to make sure the little ones are okay. And we're just going to look for anybody who was accidentally left behind, or if there are bodies or any wounds. Kasov, you know where the orphanage is. When you were actually here when the dragon attack was at the beginning. Immediately, there were alarms. People flooded the orphanage. It is quite fortified quite well for an orphanage, which was the weird part when you first arrived to the city, is you're thinking, why does an orphanage of all places need reinforcements? You kind of figured out why after you were talking to Lek for a few days. So Hunter and Lek, go to the western part of this. Start heading toward the western part of the city, checking out buildings along the way. What are you guys doing? There are a couple people who would help you, that can help you carry dragon parts away if you need it. Hunter does offer his services in case he wants you to sit. He is clearly it looks like he's a ranger. Just by the way he was moving. Ramas, how other treasure hunters, you've been among thieves and rogues before. He moves more like a ranger than he does a rogue, but he offers to help you skin the carcass if you guys need it.
I'll go with Lek
All
and
right.
wander around looking for people.
All right, we'll get to you and Lek in a second. Where are you up to?
I don't exactly know how I would do this, but I want to find someone that can make safe portal travel back to the other town of where the green dragon is being prepared.
You would probably have to talk to Lek about this. She might know a wizard in town. Right now, she looks like her efforts are focused on getting injured, anybody that was left behind, maybe any bodies that were buried on their own proper burial. before angry spirits try to come from this tragedy. So right now, Hunter off is chopping up dragon parts. It looks like he's done this before. Strangely enough, he knows where to go, what parts to get. He does ask either the ones that remain, Wino, Acros, Kasov, to would anyone like to attempt to help me with extracting the heart or the teeth? Any chance?
Yeah, I can do it in like some minutes. I have to go see if there's someone who needs medical healing first.
Okay.
But I will come back.
All right, sounds good. I just wanted to get these parts stored properly before they deteriorated. So
I speak up. Yep.
All right. He asks you, "What's I need?" All right. He says, "I need you to hold open this jaw. Um, the jaw is pretty heavy. I'm gonna need to ask you to make a athletics check for me to see if you can hold the jaw steady and open while Hunter goes in with his, it looks like a huge player of pliers, as he attempts to just rip out these dragon teeth with fairly good precision. So let's get a strength athletic check from you. Okay. So
No.
as you hold up the dragon jaw, your hands start to wobble a little bit. The adrenaline from the battle has left your body, so you're not filled with as much energy or as much surging strength as you think. I'm gonna have Hunter roll a dexterity check just so the jaw doesn't close on him while he's in there. Fortunately, he rolled a 15 on the die, so with his dexterity, that's a 19. So at the last minute, he's able to, just get out of the way, and, and he just looks at you like, would you rather be the one pulling teeth?
Yeah.
I step up. I'll say, here, let me help.
Okay, all right.
I
So
try to open
with
the.
both, or cast off, are you going to help, or are you going to stand to the side at this point?
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna also offer that if they want, they could try to stick. I have a hand axe that
Okay, all right.
might be used to prop open, perhaps. I don't know.
Acros, you get advantage on this athletics roll.
Okay.
All right, that's good enough. So you're there. You try to get your arms around. Well, actually, you're at the front of the jaw, and you push the snout area up. So you're kind of standing on the ground, and you're pushing this part up so the teeth are exposed. Cast off towards the back of his house. You stick kind of a hand axe in there, catching the soft palate of his mouth, and it looks like pretty sturdy with both Acros and you. He is able to extract. Let's see. He is able to extract 12 teeth, unbroken. The others seem to, because of the flammable agents that power the dragon's fire breath, the teeth seem to start burning at the edges or something. You're not quite sure what's happening, but it looks like the teeth he's pulled out, the root of them is damaged slightly from this caustic material, probably because they don't see the material. It's because it's in the root of the teeth. Yeah, that's kind of, well, dragon blood is, that dragon blood is used to enhance some drinks and beverages, very very high end wines. Some of you know this. Ramas, you probably know this. Acros, you probably know this, being in the city, more city often. Kasov, you might know this because dwarves love their drink. And well, you know that dragon blood can be a good reagent for for certain medicines, certain potions, things like that. A lot of times it is used to enhance the flavor of wines and ales. but very, very expensive. So there are dragon parts that are eaten. Dragon meat is also considered a delicacy in some very high-end restaurants in the major cities. So you extract 12 red dragon. That's from one red dragon. So you extract 12 dragon teeth from one dragon. He will attempt to try to get out the undamaged eye. Unfortunately, the other eye was damaged by Ramas, so that part is not usable currently. So he is Ramas, you're with Lek. Hwinnil, you're checking out the other people. So the person who uses a blade best would probably be Acros in this situation. You do wield a great sword. Hunter hands you a dagger, Acros, and says, "We're gonna need to try to dislocate the optical nerve, but somebody has to kind of just pop the eye out. I don't want there to be too much blood on the eye. It could spoil it in some cases. So I need you to roll. Oh dear. I would probably need you to roll just like a simple dexterity check to keep your hand steady.
Okay.
To try to cut the optical nerve.
Oh no.
Never mind. All right, so you know he looks like he has his dagger. Hunter has his dagger kind of popped under the eye, under the lower eyelid. He tries to pop it out as soon as he sees you cut the nerve, and unfortunately the nerve isn't severed all the way, and part of the eye is ripped out. Still in the socket. Part of the eye is in front of you. Just kind of just pops like a small bead of water, like a grape or something, and he just kind of sighs and says,
Probably should have sharpened this dagger.
Yeah. Maybe I should cut the optical nerve next time. You can use your strength to pop open the eye. We still have two. We still have two to do this. Next is the heart though, and he looks at Kasov and Acros and it's like, I'm gonna need both of you for this. And he kind of looks nervously, and it's like, we ruined the eye. I was only supposed to get 12 dragon teeth. Yeah, you are coming back. Hwinnil, did you go with Lek to check out who needs healing, or are you on your own at this point? Just looking around the city.
I probably walked on my own to cover more ground.
Okay, so you saw them go west. Did you want to go east into the city? Did you want to go check out the north, check out the southern?
The part that seems most broken, except west.
Just giving a look-see, it looks like the majority of the damage from your standpoint was probably southwest, where you were fighting, and where the areas the dragons were fighting, it looked like that was the most damaged.
I go south, then
Okay.
Southwest. So.
You go southwest. You go south, and I need you to roll a perception check. This is going to hear more to hearing as opposed to see. All right, that's pretty good. As you are walking down the street, which itself has been kind of torn up, a lot of these streets in Wingfall are cobblestone. A lot of the cobblestone has been torn up. There are scorch marks, lining the buildings that weren't burnt down. There are scorch marks everywhere. Bodies of small kobolds. There are a couple bodies of soldiers. And could you roll me a religion check for me? You see a symbol on some of these other soldiers who are dressed differently than the militia. You have
Probably
no
not
idea
us.
who this god is. You assume there were religious combatants on your side, probably, but you're not sure what order they belong to, so you're not quite sure where they came from. Maybe somebody else could tell you later. But you do hear there are to the right of you, there is a building that has suffered some fire and smoke damage, and there are bits of rubble, but you see there is an elderly gentleman with a very large wooden part of a wooden beam that is on his left leg. It looks like it absolutely crushed his his femur, and you see he's groaning. Not quite loud, but it was loud enough for you to pick up.
All right. I tried to lift off the beam, I guess.
All right. I am going to need a athletics check from you. That's good enough. All right. So it's not a very heavy beam, so you're able to shift the beam away. Just lift the beam up. He was able to scoot back with his good leg back about a foot or so when you drop the beam again into the earth. Some dust coming off the beam comes from it, and you could do a medicine check if you want to just check him out, just in case there's something else besides the beam, some internal damage. All right, it looks like you think the majority of the damage is in that crushed femur of his. He's trying to make contact with you, but like speak to you, but he's kind of it sounds like he's wheezing more than speaking at this point.
I apply one of my rolls that I did earlier, like the 11. I get the first roll on him.
All right.
So he gets 11 back.
Okay. So you patch him up a little bit. It looks like he'll need some help standing because he cannot put any weight on that leg at all.
Okay.
But it looks like it was just a leg. It doesn't look like you don't know if there's internal bleeding. But he looks like he's okay for the most part at the moment.
Yeah.
And
I help him somewhere.
All right. So luckily there are some soldiers nearby, some soldiers of Wingfall nearby. So they rush up to you as soon as they see you hobbling. Well, the man hobbling down the road with you, his arm over your shoulder. They gently take him from you, and the old man says, "Thank you, young lady. It's so hard to get to find good help these days, huh?" And he's kind of trying to chuckle through the pain. Make another perception roll. Okay, he's attempting to wink at you. Kind of trying to. He's looking like he's attempting to flirt with you through the pain. It's not coming across that great. It's like both eyes, one eye, both eyes, one eye. He's still in a lot of pain, and yeah, it's not coming across very well.
Well, I'm no lady. I'm just here to help.
Thank you. And he just hobbles down the road. Ramas, you are with Lek currently. I need you to roll a perception check for me. Lek will also roll one as well. Oh, geez. Oh, nice. All right. So you both hear, you both see and hear these it's as if they're out in the open. There are a couple bodies of soldiers, couple bodies of more bodies of kobolds and soldiers scattered on the ground. Ramus, you immediately turn to your left and see there is a soldier who is on the ground. There is a very, very large open wound on right around where his shoulder area is. It looks like he may have been stabbed a few times by some weapon. You'd have to get closer to him to check it out. Lek immediately goes to the opposite side of you, and there is a soldier kind of hunched down, like leaning against a wall, leaning against a wall, head hung low. He's breathing very shallow. There is this arrow sticking out right around here, maybe just missing his heart. So she goes to attend him. Do you want to help her, or do you want to help the soldier
I'll
with
go to
the
the other
stab
guy.
Okay.
Somehow in all the crap I have in my backpack, none of it heals anybody.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a straight medicine check, I guess.
All right. So give me a straight medicine check. All right, that's good enough. So you actually tear off some cloth from probably you have a disguise kit, right?
I believe I do somewhere. If I don't,
Because I know you've disguised as a couple people before.
Oh, I have the amulet of disguise.
Okay, so
I think
it's
I'm
not
also
kit.
proficient
All right.
in disguising from being an urchin. So we'll say I also have a disguise kit.
You
can disguise his wound.
Yeah.
What I was getting is that you could take some cloth from some clothing you have in your bag, you just rip it, and you start...
Oh yeah, I have some common clothes.
Yeah, you have common clothes, so you take those, you rip it, creating several strips. You start tying it around, causing some pressure, so the wound stops bleeding. So you think you could stop the wound from bleeding? You think you can stabilize him? He looks all right. Lek goes to the gentleman, and she actually, she watches you. After you bandage this man up, she motions you to come next to her, and she says to you, could you help? No, I need you to hold his body steady. I need to pull out this arrow. So I just need you to make just a straight athletics check, just to hold him while she, uses her own force to just pull this arrow out.
Should push it through if anything.
All right, that's good enough. You're able to hold him steady by his shoulders. You somehow scoot behind him. You hold his shoulders. She rips the arrow out, and she immediately, puts her other hand on the wound to stop the bleeding. And then you see her hand glow, and she puts the hand over his, over the area where it's punctured, and it slowly starts to heal up. It looks like she applied a low-level cure wounds just to stabilize him. Back at Acros and Kasov, you have managed to, at this point, with some help with some soldiers nearby, managed to... It's only, the dragon's only 10 by 10, so it's large, maybe a couple 100 pounds easily, to turn the dragon onto its back. Hunter tells to Acros, you're decent with a sword, right? Not with a dagger, with a sword.
Yeah, I'd like to say so. Yeah.
Okay. And what are you? He's you and Hunter have only probably at this point spoken like 4 or 5 sentences to each other, Kasov. What are you good at?
Well, I'm highly trained in medical. I have a medical background, so anything you need that's biological, I'm
Okay.
help.
All right. He's gonna cut you. Ever crack a sternum before?
Oh, almost every weekend.
All right.
That's a joke.
So he kind of actually he has to make an intelligence check. Oh wow. I'm rolling well on that. I'm gonna keep this die because I've rolled 220 so far. He's gonna start howling laughing similar to a hyena. Very, he thought that was a hilarious joke. And he's gonna say, I'm gonna have you do this. So Acros, what he wants you to do is he wants you to try to make an incision from the base of the neck of the dragon to the belly. He wants Kasov to use his warhammer to try to crack the sternum. You notice that Hunter, for a big no, he's very fast, but he doesn't look very as strong as probably other no's you may have encountered or fought in the past. He seems quicker than most, but not as strong. So he wants wants Acros to just cut from the neck down to the belly. He wants Kasov to just break the sternum with his warhammer. Acros, I need you to I need you to roll an attack.
Okay.
The dragon is dead, so it's just natural armor at this point. You're
Right.
trying to get through. All right. Fortunately, with the 20, you are able to make the incision. You might have to make one more incision. It is a young dragon, so the hide is significantly tougher than a wormling. So just give me one more attack roll, maybe just to get from the. All right. So you see the first cut. He just jabs the greatsword in and tries to carve like a straight path down. Unfortunately, the second attack, you're trying to use your sword Acros to get from the belly, like from the chest to the belly at this point, and it's not, the hide is too tough. It's not budging very much. So there is a smaller hole to work from for the sternum. Kasov, because of that, I am going to ask you to roll an attack with disadvantage to try to crack the sternum.
I'm using the warhammer two-handed.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
Nice.
Nice. Quite lovely. All right, so you bring the warhammer up over your head with both hands, and you hear a resounding crack. You're gonna have to do it one more time. This is a pretty. Dragonbone is very, very, very strong, and fortunately, it's not tempered Dragonbone with. Okay, unfortunately, you're able to get part of the way in, but it's, even though there are some surface cracks, and you got about halfway through the bone. Sternum's pretty strong. It's not completely broken. You see Hunter, kind of rubbing his chin, trying to think what to do, and he says, "All right, I have another idea. Unless you guys have an idea."
Idea?
Yeah,
Me?
idea. Idea to get this heart out.
I'm not really an idea person.
Well, you know about medicine, right? Kasov,
Yes.
what do you know? What do you think we can do with this at this point?